I am trying to play Destiny 2. It's not going well, is the title of this article from Paul Tassi. And that's a spicy title. And honestly, I feel that sentiment to some degree. I'm currently left in this weird limbo of wanting to level up for Renegades, but not being especially enthusiastic about it. So let's see what Paul has to say in regards to this. And feel free to comment down below if you are currently playing Destiny 2 or if you're on hiatus waiting for Renegades to come out. I'm a Destiny 2 player. That may be stating the obvious, but the implication there is that I would like to play Destiny 2 when I can, when there's something that interests me there. Currently, there's the fact that I've just reached a point where I can get tier 5 drops all the time across the portal, and now the Festival of the Lost holiday event because of my power level. So we finally hit technically 470 power allows you to get tier 5s in all activities, and Festival of the Lost has a cool modifier, these mini seasonal events, where they actually give you a tier above. So I believe if you were even less than 400, you'd still be getting like tier 5s. But actually attempting to play Destiny, we're at a point where it is so broken in so many places that the game is often physically preventing me from doing so. Damn. Physically, spiritually, mentally, financially. Here's how playing the game has gone the last few days. Hopping into Festival of the Lost Haunted Altars in at least 3 runs, I've experienced the boss soft lock, where you have to wait for a number of shriekers to close and stop firing at the boss before you damage him too much, lest the encounter break. You can reset this by wiping, but few of your 6-man fire team will know that, just like they won't know about the shrieker thing. That's funny. And this has been my exact experience when playing with blueberries inside the new activity as well. I typically, when we get to the boss, we maybe do too much damage and we soft lock it. Probably it's about 50% of the time for me. And when we do, I just whisper in the text chat saying, we all need to wipe to reset the encounter. And some people don't have the text chat turned on. Some people, I'm convinced, can't even read. Some people, their names, they're not even like English names, so they probably don't even speak English. They don't even know what I'm saying in the damn text chat, right? And so it's a real mess. It takes everyone forever to wipe. People are reviving me. I'm on like my 4th time killing myself just to melt away all of our res tokens. And then finally we all die and reset the damn thing, and then we clear it. It's not the best activity, right? So because of that, we've decided to just completely abandon these haunted altars altogether, and we're just inside Crucible farming Red Rumble. Let me know if that's what you've been doing too. I had at least 2 instances break during the 3rd stage of the activity, again, seemingly tied to a shrieker shooting at a mini-boss. But in the Dread stage there, the game's performance tanks with enemies glitching around and bizarre behaviors, like you getting yanked inside an insta-stab or insta-death bubble, or killed by things you didn't see coming because of frame drops and other issues. This is very accurate to the situation. Attempting to play Reclaim for Ash and Iron loot, I've had 2 instances where the same glitches out after teleporting to a new zone, where new objectives will not spawn. Wiping does not fix this. Really? Okay, I did not realize that was happening in Reclaim as well. All Reclaim activities are match made, meaning you cannot change modifiers. 2 are predicted A rank. The 3rd is predicted B rank for me. I thought that may be wrong and we could possibly surpass the score. We did everything and could not, making the run a waste of time. After all this time, Portal scores remain confusing or just plain wrong. Yeah, the Portal scoring system with the adding modifiers and the graded tier system, it sounds good in practice, right? You're like, obviously, an A is better than a B, right? Like everyone kind of understands the general gist of it, but calculating that and it accurately representing that, and with the pre-made modifiers, kind of what people want to do is they want to load in and just play sometimes. And maybe after you've played a bunch of times, then you'll mess around with custom modifiers. But you selecting the pre-made stuff and it giving like a B score and just wasting your time is frankly obnoxious, right? And it's very off-putting. And a lot of people will just, log off for the day after getting that. I then tried a battleground to pick up 3 bonus drops I had there. 2 times in a row, the predicted A rank ended with a C rank. Oh no. Supposedly because you need to wait for waves of enemies to spawn rather than killing the boss quickly. I'm not sure the boss kill itself even counted. This has been happening in some arenas since the portal was introduced 5 months ago, and is still not fixed. Jesus Christ, Bungie. In the end, I was about 50-50 in terms of normal runs where I completed it without glitches and got the rank I was supposed to. The rest were being locked out of a run or ending it with trash loot despite playing the activity perfectly normally. There are always complaints about Bungie and their bugs, but at this point, QA has been cut there to the point where every new update either introduces new bugs or breaks old ones. The one guy at QA, Eduardo, is out here literally sweating it out. He cannot take on all of these bugs and all these issues, and leaves bugs in place for months that can brick activities. With so few things to actually play now because of the portal, what is there has to work, and half the time it doesn't. Yes, this is a fair statement. The things need to work in Destiny 2, and Destiny 2 weirdly has a lot of moving parts, right? You obviously have these subclasses that can randomly break, these perks on these weapons that can break, these exotics that clearly break, right? Lots of things can break in Destiny 2. And the spaghetti code that's putting together Destiny 2 is obviously problematic, but Destiny 2 in and of itself has so much that I feel like you need a massive QA team in order for this game to thrive. But part of the problem, and I say problem lightly because it's a necessity at this point, right? But part of the problem is that you have to then pay this QA team, right? And the average Bungie salary is like $110,000 a year. So you got each person, that's $110,000 more. We got one more person in QA and another 110,000 and another 110,000. And we just added, you're 9 people in and you have over, $1 million more annually, right? And for just to core out a good-sized QA team, and the ROI I think is not matching it, and I think that's why we're at where we're at. And if it keeps going this way, it's kind of a vicious cycle though, where poor sentiment of a game equals fewer returning players, fewer new players, right? Like you can't just keep going on with like really bad QA. I think that Bungie's strategy has been like, we'll launch something, it'll be super bugged, we'll watch the Cheese Forever video, and then we'll fix it like 2 hours later. Like that's been literally their strategy. Like I think that's like the QA team's like goal at this point in time. But part of the problem with that is you're launching bugged things. Sometimes it takes them longer to fix these things, clearly longer than they initially intend. Like sometimes they can really get on top of it fast. Like if it's a bugged weapon, they'll just like, boom, instantly disable that weapon or something, right? But with soft locking, you can't do that, right? You can't just disable the entire new activity that just came out. So what is Bungie to do, right? Obviously, they need to hire significantly more people for QA. They're going to have to figure out how to, manage their finances. Obviously, they're working with a smaller team, but we need to distribute some people over to the QA department, clearly. And in the process, that means less new content, It's kind of a weird thing that I've said before, and I know people may not agree with it, but you know what? We're always here to give some hot takes, where I feel like in maybe Destiny 1, we didn't experiment with like testing how broken things were because there was just so much new stuff thrown at us that we didn't have time or care to like explore and like figure out all these out of bounds spots and like what is broken and what is this, like there were some things we knew were broken. Obviously, like Vex Mythoclast when Destiny 1 first came out was pretty obviously busted, and a few other things. But sometimes, not that this is like proper sandbox balancing, but sometimes when you give people enough new things to play, they're focused on the new things and they're doing all of that they're not like investing all of their time in searching for all these crazy out of bounds glitches and all these crazy bugs. And in this situation, this is not even searching for something. In this situation, this is literally just trying to play the activity normally. But sometimes I've noticed that, I'll watch a Cheese Forever video and they're like, they found some crazy out of bounds spot. And I think to myself, the QA department probably didn't think about, mountain topping up 3 times, throwing a stasis crystal over there and then hitting a shatter skate across the fucking, universe and then coming out of the map and then breaking the whole game, right? So not that that's necessarily affixed anything, but it feels like, this is my opinion, this is what I'm getting to. It feels like because there's so little content in the game that we're finding even more glitches, and the glitches kind of are even more glaring because we don't have anything to like take away from our frustrations. We're just like, everything's glitching and bugging and it's shitty, and we can't like be especially excited about anything particularly new. Like even though the raid is out and the raid is actually pretty solid, I think that's like the one thing, the silver lining to Edge of Fate is the raid, in my opinion. And aside from the raid, which has not had some crazy glitches, as far as I know, a lot of stuff has been glitched. A lot of stuff has been buggy right now, and it's not going well for the QA department. All right, F's in the chat for the QA department at Bungie, because it's going absolutely horrible for them since the Edge of Fate has launched. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, click on the screen here to watch another one from the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button. Later.